I'm Max Lopez. This is the Blue Wave. Kamala Harris has agreed to do a sit-down interview with Fox News after the Republicans have been criticizing her, or at least trying to criticize her, for a lack of national media appearances. Now, this comes after Harris has done a whole slew of appearances on podcast and internet personality platforms that the Harris campaign seems to believe is going to be a better use of Harris's time to get elected than doing big national media interviews. But keep in mind, she has already done one with CNN. That was, in fact, her first one that she did with Tim Walz. Trump doesn't seem very happy at all about Harris deciding to do an interview with Fox News and them allowing it to happen. And really, the reason is because it totally pokes a hole in their argument that Harris is shying away from doing such media appearances because she's going to be front and center in front of the biggest conservative news outlet in the country. But before we look at this quick article here, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with someone who's into politics after you're done watching the video. So let's check out this MSN article from USA Today. It says, with fewer than 3 weeks left until the November 5th election, Kamala Harris is turning to a new venue to reach undecided voters, a sit-down interview on Fox News. Brett Baier is slated to interview Harris Wednesday in Pennsylvania, a battleground swing state where she currently has a 4-point lead over former President Trump. The interview will air that night at 6 p.m. Eastern. Though she largely avoided sit-down interviews with traditional news outlets at the beginning of her campaign, Harris has ramped up media appearances as the election draws nearer. In her Fox News interview, she is reaching across the aisle, becoming the first Democratic presidential candidate to appear on the network since 2016, when Hillary Clinton sat down for an interview with Chris Wallace. So, wow. First time in, 8 years, since 2016, that Harris any Democrat has sat down with Fox News to do an interview. So this just totally blows away any argument that Harris is shying away or isn't up to answering questions about her policy in a detailed way, or is cowering from American voters because she doesn't have any differences to Joe Biden. It totally blows away that argument, because here she is doing more appearances than Donald Trump is doing, in fact, in the national media. And we know that Trump has been canceling his interviews, including a sit-down interview with 60 Minutes, when candidates traditionally always do an interview with 60 Minutes. Now, here's what Harris needs to do during this interview with Fox News. She needs to nail the question of, are you better off 4 years ago? Are we better off 4 years ago as a country than we are now? Because you know that this is going to be asked to her among a lot of other probably very combative questions, given Fox News's affinity for Republican propaganda. So Harris needs to nail down that answer and say, here's the thing, Brett. 4 years ago, we were dealing with a worldwide pandemic. We were dealing with supply chain shortages that were definitely not helped by how Donald Trump handled the pandemic. And we had a very big, bad mess to clean up. And we did that way faster than anywhere else in the world, because inflation is a worldwide problem. And America's inflation was, in fact, amongst the lowest in the entire world. largely due to measures that the Biden Harris administration took. She needs to come with something like that to really knock it out of the park and solidify in the American voters' minds that the Biden Harris administration has handled the economy very well. And we're in fact a lot better off than a lot of other countries in the world, directly because of how well they handled the economy that we were handed by Trump. And you got to expect that there's going to be these combative questions. And on immigration, I'm sure she'll hammer this home that, yeah, we had an immigration bill because we understand the importance of securing the border and how bad it's gotten. The maybe not say how bad it's gotten, but you say we don't accept the amount of illegal border crossings that are happening either. And that's why we came up with a deal. We came up with a plan to fix that with the bipartisan border deal that was killed by Mike Johnson and Donald Trump and other MAGA Republicans that wanted to run on the issue. I'm sure we'll hear that from her, but that needs to be drilled into the American voters' minds as much as possible in the days leading up to the election. So that's all I got for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with someone who's into politics, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.